Hello, welcome. I'm Pauline from Pauline's Quilters World, and I'm here to show you how to make this gorgeous Christmas stocking. Anytime through the year you can make these things up. It's just, get the fabric out of your stash, let's get going with it. We do have a pattern for this, and it's a little bit of a unique stocking because it's all woven, and you can use up all of your stash of fabrics that you may have sitting aside. So we have the pattern that shows you step by step by step how to do it. And I'm just going to briefly show you the tools that I use and how I've constructed this, but all the finer details are in the pattern for you. We've used the sasha collection, a few different sizes out of that, and you can do your weaving with any size that you like and any amount of different colours. But what we've done to start with, the front is all woven, and then we've put the lovely cuff around the top, and we've put the heel and the toe section in for you, but we just have a plain fabric on the back. So just a simple plain fabric on the back, but you could decorate the back if you want, and the inside is lined. So you've just got the nice lining inside there. Now, also you can make it much larger if you would like to, or you could make it smaller. So whatever you would like to do with it. But firstly, what we've done is we've cut out an underneath fabric, which I don't know whether you can pick it up, but there's a gold fabric here. That's what we've woven onto that gold fabric. And then we've got a batting or a wadding behind that. So I've got the layers cut out here. I've used the pattern and I've cut it out a little bit larger than what our pattern would be, because we know that when we put things on like the weaving and we stitch it down, it could shrink in a little bit. So get your 3 layers. So this is a backing fabric. Then we've got the batting, and we use the Hobbs heirloom double-sided fusible batting because I don't like pinning. I don't like bulk of a lot of different waddings or battings. So I just cut out the Hobbs heirloom batting, put the 3 layers together, and then with a hot dry iron, I simply press. Just slowly press the top side and then flip it over, and you would press the back side also. Then once we got that done, we'll cut strips of fabric, and we'll use different size strips to weave it to give a nice unique little look. You could do all of the strips the same size if you wish to. Like I've got the burgundy, and that is a 7/8 of an inch wide, and I've used the 7/8 of an inch sasha tool. Then we've got a 1/2 inch. We've used the 1/2 inch sasha tool to do this one. And then we've got the 1/4 inch, which is the purple. So using 3 different tools, we can create this effect. So now if you've not used the sasha tools before, whatever size tool you're going to be using, we'll use the 7/8, whatever size this tool is that you're going to be using, you'll cut your fabric double the measurement that appears on the tool. So we've cut this fabric double the measurement. We're going to fold it in and in till it meets. With our hot iron, we just press the start. Now by pressing it, it's going to allow you to get it into the tool nice and neat. Hold the tool by the handle, thread your fabric in and back down. And you can use something like an awl to help you get that through if you find it's a bit hard on your fingers. Then we're going to pin this into the ironing surface with the double fork pin. Use the double fork pin, twin pin. That puts equal tension on both sides of the fabric. And you'll find these pins are fabulous for doing all sorts of piecing. They go either side of the seam and hold your seams in place perfectly. So now the curve on the sash is designed to fit the side of any iron. So I love using the mini iron. I just think it just works so well for me for my sewing space to fit in there, but your big iron will work just the same. Just press that down, run the iron over it a couple of times just to keep the heat. Move the pin whenever you need to. And we'll just pin that in. Oops, doesn't want to go in for me. And then we'll just keep pressing. So you'll go through and do all of that with all the strips that you need. and depending on the size of your stocking to how many of each size you will need. Now, with doing the little 1/4 inch one, this one's cut 1/2 inch wide. We're going to fold the ends in as we did before, fold it over and over. So that can be a bit tricky on your fingers. So we'll just fold and fold. Press that little start. Now, when we do the 1/4 inch one, we need to have the fold facing down, so we put it face down. When I did this one, when I put it through the tool, you may have noticed the fold was sitting up, but with the little tiny narrow one, I find the fold facing down to the ironing surface, because it's such a small fold in, that I find I need to have this fold sitting onto the ironing surface to give me the perfect result. So come up from the bottom, and that's why I'm doing this one, so you can see the result is much better with the fold facing down. Pin again with the double pin. Just turn this around so you can see better, and we just press. If I had the fold facing up on this small one, it would be tending to want to open up on me. So facing down is the way to go. But it's only the 1/4 inch one that it is facing down. All the rest, the fold will face up. So there's a couple of strips ironed up for us. So now the next step we make is we'll lay out our 3 layers that we've got together, and then we'll go and lay our strips down. Now don't lay one right to the edge, because by the time we stitch this and trim it back, we don't want to be trimming through this first strip. So come in about 1/2 inch, and we tell you all of this in the pattern. So we've got a few strips here. Now we want to have a gap between each of these pieces, and what we've done here is we've got a 1/4 inch gap. So you can see the gold shining through. So we've got that 1/4 inch there. I use this little mini ruler. I find it a very handy tool. And I'm just going to lay that down so that the 1/2 inch line is on that red strip of fabric. I'll now lay the next one down. And as I lay them down, I can just move the ruler up and make sure I'm got that 1/2 inch gap. Use the Roxanne glue basted. As you lay each strip down, just put a little bit of glue underneath each piece, just to hold it in place. And you'd come up to this other end and glue it. So this strip should be the full length, but just for the demonstration, we won't worry about that. We'll put the next strip down, have it 1/2 inch away again, and you'll keep going right across till you put all of those red strips down, getting your distance nice and even. Once you get all of those strips going this way in place, do press the edges there so that you set the glue, because you want them to hold in place perfectly for you and not move while we weave our other strips through. Now, with doing the other strips, come back to this one, you can start with whatever colour you want. So let's say if we started with the thin one, we'll weave this under and over all the way across. Then when we come with the next strip, we'll go under and then overs, and then we come back with a narrow purple again. Then we leave a gap of 1/2 inch, and then we're going to start with the 1/2 inch strips with a 1/4 in between. So can you see the rhythm we're getting here? We've got 2 1/2 inches with a purple with a 1/4 inch in between. Then we go 2 1/4 inches with a 1/2 in between, 2 1/2 inches with a 1/4, 2 1/4s with a 1/2. So that's the rhythm that we went at and the system we used, so it all looks nice and even. So now to do our weaving, I use a bodkin. Now this is a little fancy tool that we use to, thread elastic or pajama cords or something through a channel, but I find this makes it very easy. Just put the end on there. You've got a little round knob there, pull that down and that locks that fabric in place. And then all we do is go unders and overs. And you continue going all the way across, unders and overs. Then we'll measure out our distance that we need it to be. We'll do a 1/2 inch. Then we'll come through with one of these ones. Get our bodkin. Clip it in again. Pull it up. So now I'm going to need to draw a line across there because I'm going to be wanting to shift the ruler. I find a little tool that's really handy for drawing a line. This is a Chalko liner. Now this, if you don't know about these, this drops chalk down. So it gives you a nice little fine line. So I'll just come across and I will just mark across. So I know where that one's going to go. So that's where the edge of this one will go. Got it threaded in. We're going over and under and over. We'll line that right up on that chalk line. Pull it right across, continue weaving all the way across. Then we'll glue the ends of those. Then we mark out another 1/2 inch. And I just find using the little ruler is easier than the big long rulers to use for doing something small like this. There we have that one. Thread another narrow one through. So it's very, very easy technique. There's nothing hard about doing your weaving. So we're going under, over, under. Glue that one in place. Then we'd mark out our 1/4 inch and we'd start with one of our wider strips again. So that's just the way we do our weaving. And you continue weaving up the whole lot, gluing it, and then go and trim it back and stitch around the whole outside edge. Once you've got it stitched around the edge, I just wanted to hold the weaving down. I didn't want a child to be able to get in underneath here and get caught up in it. So what we've done is we've stitched straight down on either side of that burgundy coloured fabric, all the way through. And because we had multi-colours of fabric there, I had the monopoly, this beautiful thread. I had this in my top of my machine, and you can have anything in the bobbin because it's going to be not seen, it's inside the stocking. So we put that in the top of the machine and stitched all the way through down each side of that burgundy. Then we bound, actually before we bound it we needed to cut out a backing fabric. We cut out the backing fabric and I marked lines with this marker and then I stitched on those lines. And because I didn't have a burgundy thread to match, once again I used this clear thread in my bobbin. In the top of the machine. And then we made a lining up, put the lining inside and then we bound it. And we used the 1 1/4" sasher tool that's in the kit, this one here. We cut our fabric 2.5 inches wide, folded in half, pressed it with that tool, it folded it beautifully for us. We stitched it on from the back, we folded it over to the front and glued the binding down with the glue and set it with the iron. And then we just put that invisible thread in the top and the bobbin and we stitched really close on the edge all the way around. And the same, before we put the binding on, we had to put the heel on and the toe. We quilted that in some lines. We then made a 1/4 inch strip up and we put over the top of the raw edge of the heel and the toe. We bound it and then we put the cuff on the top. So it's a very, very simple process to make something that's quite nice. Now, the nice thing you could do, which I will do with my stockings for my grandchildren, I'm going to embroider their name on here, and then I'll put, you know, a little message in here, and I'll put the year that I've made it for them. So it'll be theirs forever. And I did that, a stocking for my son, you know, and he's in his 40s now, but he still uses his Christmas stocking every year. He loves it because he knows exactly what year I made it for him, and it's a talking point for his children. And you can see on the back wall behind me that we have lots of other Christmas goodies for you. This is a Christmas tree to hang on the wall. It's made out of a jelly roll with batting inside, and we use our jelly roll sasha to make this one. And in with this pattern, you get some of the Christmas decorations. But if you want more decorations to hang on the tree, we have an additional pack you can buy. We've also made the gorgeous Santa. He's a woven Santa. We used our weaver set of sasha tools to do him because he's got the batting inside. We needed a different style of sasha tool to make him up. We've done the chenilling. We've made the chenille fabric, and in the pattern and in a video you can watch on our YouTube channel, you'll see how we've done the chenilling. And then we've done ruching, so to really make that stand out. And with the Santa pattern, this can hang on the wall, it can be on the floor, whatever you would like to do with it. You do get the gorgeous buckle in the pattern to put onto the Santa. And with the Christmas tree, you get these placemats as a complementary in the pattern. So you can decorate up your home just beautifully using scraps out of your stash, or buying jelly rolls or fabrics that you can cut up yourself. So we'd love you to get yourself ready for Christmas. Any time of the year is the time of joy and to be happy and to start making things for Christmas. So thank you for joining us. Do look at our website because we have all the tools there that you may need to construct any of these things that we show you on our YouTube channel. But we'd love you to look at the website www.pqw.com.au and subscribe to our YouTube channel and to our newsletter, because we want you to stay in touch with us so we can get you up to date on everything we do here at Pauline's Quilters World. But thanks for joining us. Hope you've had fun and enjoy. Bye for now.